We're heading to CES this year, and I wanted to show you what's in my camera bag for handling all of our interviews. Now, we're gonna be doing like a run and gun type situation. We have some different meetings we gotta get to and do some interviews that way, but generally we're gonna be doing this on the fly. The first thing I want to talk to you about is actually the audio setup, because it's not straightforward as possible. I mean, think about it. We're going into a convention center that's super loud, and there's going to be lots of interference from other types of wireless transceivers. So this is what I came up with.
The key to recording in a loud environment is the signal-to-noise ratio. The signal is the speaker's voice, and the noise as well, the background noise. Lapel microphones do an okay job at isolating these, but really, if the noise around the speaker's head is quite loud, it's going to pick it up. That's where something like an Action News microphone, for example the Sennheiser MD-46, really helps out. It has really good isolation off to the left and off to the right of the microphone, and it only picks up the first few inches in front of it. It's not perfect by any means, but whatever small amount of noise is left over, I can easily fix that in post.
I've done some research, and I think that Sennheiser mic is going to be the way to go. It's been super robust. I've been the weird guy taking this thing out in public and trying it out, and it's been working pretty well. Now, to record to that, we're going to use the Tascam DR10X. This is just a really small recorder that clicks right into the bottom of this, and it works extremely well. Now, this won't be the only recorder I'm bringing. I'm going to bring this Zoom F3. This is another field recorder. The big benefit to this is it's a 32-bit float recorder. There's a couple caveats to this. If you had a microphone plugged into this, you could scream into it, and it's not going to clip. There are other parts of this that could clip, like the microphone itself, but this recorder is able to capture really high sound as well as really low. And the other big benefit is I can listen to it while it's on my side and kind of keep tabs on the audio. I'm honestly bringing this as a backup solution because if I use it with this mic, it has to have a wire between it, and that's kind of cumbersome. But yeah, I'm going to have it in my backpack just in case we need it. I will still be bringing like a lapel mic system. I said the big thing is the loud environments. If people are talking around you, it's mainly picking up the head area. I mean, think of this one. It's capturing this area around me, and it's kind of keeping the reflections off the wall at bay. Doesn't work in really loud environments, but I'm still going to bring it for the reason of we're not going to be in the convention center the entire time. I may do some vlog type content, or we may be taking some other type of footage outside of the venue, and it's just very easy to use this and clean that up in post. So, if you want to know exactly what it is, it's going to be this DJI Mic Mini. I love this one. This one actually doesn't record locally, so if I lose audio because of that, it is what it is. I'm not going to bring my older DJI mics because I'm trying to keep this light as possible, because things like the camera are going to be very heavy as it is. So, DJI Osmo Pocket 3, love this thing. It's going to be used for outside of the venue for professional videos. My camera I'm going to use here is actually the one you're filming on right now, but this is a pretty good stand-in. It is a full frame Sony. It's the A7 IV, full size sensor, really good for low light environments, which CES can be kind of dark in the inside, so I'm banking on bringing that. This is an FX camera. I just have this as a stand-in. I'm not going to bring this as like a B camera as I sometimes do, simply because we're not going to have enough hands to have an A camera and a B camera rolling. It's going to be a bit tight. I will be having this set up on top. So my A7 IV is a completely caged up camera. I'm bringing my camera tool from Small Rig to make this work. A handy tool for under 20 bucks. But I will be having this up top. So this is my iPhone I use as a monitor. I have used other monitors before, and I like this iPhone as a monitor because it gets extremely bright. I don't have to worry about the sun washing it out and not being able to see what's going on. Actually, I'm monitoring that camera right now with this, so I can see in there. But that will be my camera choice. The lens will be a nice wide angle lens, the one that's on it right now. I may pop off this lens. That's a zoom lens. It's what is it? 28-75, just so I have it. It's a really handy lens. If you're buying one lens, it'd probably be that one. Also, lots of SD cards, more specifically CF Express cards. That's what my cameras shoot on. I will be bringing a nice CF Express reader. I don't like the one built into the camera. I like to have a dedicated one. And then finally, a footage backup system. I have my laptop. My workflow is essentially I plug in my CF Express reader with the card, and then I do a duplicate copy over to each one of these SSDs, and I use a program that allows it to do a hash check to make sure nothing's corrupted. Now, the big thing to me about this is I have two different SSDs. They're from two different manufacturers with two different build dates. So I know there was some issues with this manufacturer that apparently got fixed. They were corrupting. But even if so, I have this one from a completely different company that, I have a backup here. This is also nice, not just have a backup. Chris and I live on different coasts, so before I leave, I'm gonna give him this one. He can take it with him, and then he can mail it back to me. But that's my setup for audio, video, and if you're wondering how I'm gonna lug this all around with me, it's gonna be my Shimoda bag. I've done a dedicated video about this a few months ago. I'm still rocking this. It went with me to Cerro Gordo, a couple other trips. It is super rugged. It's super robust. It's a little bit heavy for a backpack, but that's because it's got a lot of camera rigging inside of it, essentially a big camera cube that keeps it crush proof. This thing's a beast. Everything's gonna be going in here. And the only thing I wanna point out is I do got a Peak Design capture clip. So if you see us walking around CES, you'll probably see my big camera hanging off there. And on the other side, I got some cool merch coming that I'm super excited about. You've probably seen those remove before flight tags. I got some made that are coming in tomorrow that say fix it in post, David does. So if you see me around and you want one, just ask for one. I'm gonna have a bunch with me. May put them up for sale for a couple bucks. I don't know, I love that type of gear. Something that's not super branded just towards like David does. I mean, I'm gonna have stickers too, but something that, you know, it's actually fun to put on your bag, and again, it's not gonna be overtly branded David does. But anyhow, I'm super excited to put this through the test. I do have a couple shorts coming out regarding this. I'm gonna make some content while I'm there, so make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching David Does.